Hi, this is the human operating system time. So we often heard the claim on the Wing Chun SLT sets. Well, some will say Wing Chun SLT set, it is like yoga, it is like meditation, it is like Qigong, it is internal art. Or some will say internal Wing Chun SLT is like yoga, meditation, Qigong, etc., etc. But well, what is internal? What is internal? Why is it that it is like yoga, meditation, qigong? Well, we need to know that, okay? Especially for those who is serious in practice the 修炼套 sets and thinking what they practice is internal. One better get this thing really clear. Know what it is, why it is, how to get it, and be able to verify scientifically. Okay. Now with today's sports science, the real internal can be measured. Yes, like yoga, meditation, qigong, if it is a real deal internal, that can be measured. And when you complete this video, you know exactly what happened and you can act on it right away. Okay? There's no point to guess for a lifetime on what is internal and whether one will do it properly or can one get it right or not, or can one even get the result. Now, in all training, okay, in today's sports science scientific way, we can classify the training as a balanced training, has the training load side and the recovery side. So training load, for example, in Wing Chun is like say you do 100 sun punch, 100 sun punch. While you will exhaust, you will train hard for that. That's the training load. Another part of the equation is recovery. You need to take a rest, okay, so that the body be able to recover instead of keeping just doing sun punch, okay. Now, it is well known in sports science that imbalanced training without recovery increase the risk of injury, illness, and poor performance. If one just keeping doing sun punch again and again without rest, and it increase the risk of injury, illness, and poor performance. Okay, this is science. Okay, you can read it in the sports science. Okay. Now, thus, recovery and training load can be measured, and it is scientifically studied. Okay. So we want to know one thing, which is called the heart rate variability. Okay, heart rate variability. We need to know this. Okay, this is I cut this paste from Harvard Educations. Okay, so you know that it's real deal. Okay. So HRV, which is the heart rate variability, is simply a measure of the variation in time between each heartbeat. This variation is controlled by a primitive part of the nervous system called autonomic nervous system, or ANS. It works regardless of our desire and regulates, among other things, our heart rate, blood pressure, breathing, and digestion. So, to study the training load and recovery scientifically, one use the heart rate variability, and one be able to know the conditions of the autonomic nervous systems with the heart rate variability measurement. So with that, with the heart rate variability and autonomic nervous system, we get into this, okay? So this is, you can check it in the website. This is from Elite HRV, okay, the measurements, apps and so forth. It is available for people who do sports and even MMA, okay? So this is the branches of autonomic nervous system, ANS, with as we just share and measure by HRV. And so you know that there are two branches there. One is the sympathetic nervous system, PNS. One is sympathetic nervous system, PSNS. So the PNS is control, stimulations of a fight and flight stress response, okay, need for short-term survival. And there are parasympathetic nervous system, which is control, stimulations of rest and digest, okay, activity essential for recovery, okay, need for long-term survival, okay. So from here we know that the parasympathetic nervous system control your body's rest and digest response and is associated with recovery. Parasympathetic activation conserve energy, constricts pupil, aids digestion and slow heart rate. Okay, so this is science. Okay, so we now know about the heart rate variability, and we know about the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, and we know recovery means parasympathetic nervous system's predominance. Okay, we know that. Now, if you look at yoga, the practice of yoga, which I say, why it is internal, it deals with prana and so forth, right? Yoga means capable of parasympathetic predominance. Why? Well, people study in it. Okay, people study it. Okay, this is impact of short-term practice of yoga on heart rate variability. People measure it. Okay, so as in this one of the sample, of the study. You see, so this is the study, the result. 32 of subject recruit for yoga practice complete the study protocol. Analysis of heart rate variability revealed that in time domain parameter, this SDNN increased for 33.6 to 42.11. Okay, and this again increased from 22 to 25, increased from 2.45 to 7.35 after interventions. Okay, all this counting. And the conclusion, autonomic balance tilt towards parasympathetic predominance after 1 month practice of yoga. Okay, so if you want to say that Wing Chun SLT is the same with yoga, meditation and so forth, one better to have this practice and better be able to show the heart rate variability result. And one know that this internal is actually related to parasympathetic predominance, as in yoga, okay? Studied scientifically. Now, if we look into the ancient Chinese training, which is based in loose in physical, quiet in mind, and natural in breathing, we know it is a recovery-based or parasympathetic predominance training. It's like the yoga, okay? And the Chinese training is based on loose in physical, quiet in mind, and natural in breathing, okay? So that is what internal is about. Loose in physical, quiet in mind, and natural in breathing. Those are recovery-based parasympathetic predominance training, like the yoga, okay, which is being studied. Okay, now if you look at the Wing Chun Quinquit 1850, you can see that this is aware of intentions, like this is a quit one, union with awareness, standing equal shoulder stand, okay, and then it talk about spiral twisting naturally, follow the breathing and the direction of the chi. Naturally is the key point here. And you know it is based on this type, based on the loose in physical, quiet in mind, and natural in breathing. So it is a recovery-based and parasympathetic predominance training. And also, now if we look into this heart rate variability stuff again, you can see this heart rate. If you get a watch, like the watch I always suggest people use, the fitness band, you can see at the stress, the heart rate is this way. At the focus and relax, it is this way. Okay, so this focus, the intention, is not the stress, like I have to have a really intense intention. No, it is not. It is actually this type of focus and relax, which is union with the awareness, is not using your mind to stress and tense. Okay, so that is what the Xiu Lim Tao set is about. That is why for past few videos I talk about that. I share about the Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao practice or training is an light aerobic activity which is good for recovery. I even show the Garmin result or test result or monitoring result from the Garmin fitness band, which is show exactly what it is. Okay, when one practices it this way, according to the quit and according to Chinese, loose in physical, quiet in mind, and natural in breathing. Okay, so we know up to here. The first thing is we need to ask the question: is the Xiu Lim Tao training one train, a recovery or a parasympathetic predominance training? Well, if we want to claim this, internal Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao is like yoga, meditation, qigong, etc. We need to ask this question: is the Xiu Lim Tao training a recovery or parasympathetic predominance training? Well, we know the 1850s Xiu Lim Tao is a recovery-based and parasympathetic predominance training. Now, you don't need in Wing Chun or any Red Boat ancestor or me to tell you it is or it is not. Okay, because that means nothing. Well, let the heart rate variability testing tell you. Okay, let the Harvard Health people, okay, which is doing research in this kind of stuff, and the measurements of the heart rate variability tell you. Okay, because as you see here, the yoga people study their yoga with the heart rate variability. Okay, so that is the reality. We like it or not, here on, start from today, October the 5th, August the 5th, 2019. We know exactly what the Xiu Lim Tao training is about, and we can check it, we can monitor it. Okay? Now, for those who is critical, want to know more about this thing, you need to look at my work, okay? It is because based on all this I shared with you just now, we need to bridge the ancient and the sports science, okay? The yoga people bridge the ancient with the sports science. And if we want to make our claim, we want to get result, we better be able to do the same thing. Internal or not can be verified with a heart rate variability. We need to know what it is, why it is, how to handle it, and verify it scientifically. That's why I wrote the book, The Basic Traditional Chinese Martial Education. One need to know the 6-13-3, okay, or the 6 core elements and the states. You know the physical, mind, breathing, energy, force, momentum, and its states. How to handle the states, how to get to the states. And also the intentional regulating and natural resonance states of the, for example, the breathing. Okay? In order for one be able to handle this, be able to handle this balance training, and be able to verify with the heart rate variable measurements. Okay? So today we do have the technology. We know why, what, why, how, and we can verify scientifically like this. Okay, this live track Zoom HRV intensity or training or recovery trainer. Okay, so you can have heart rate variability, like this heart rate measurement recovery. Okay. This Zoom HR automatically monitor physical fatigue to assess personal recovery status and provide exertion recommendation for for upcoming training sessions. So it deals with your training load and the recovery. And right now, okay, this is a few years models a few years ago. Okay, and today's you can have your smartphone apps with your heart rate monitor, chest strips and everything to do the job. So this is what I like to share with you today. Okay, we don't have to guess. We don't have to spend a lifetime. We need to know this. Okay. We cannot just saying, oh, you keep training and you will get it. So what happens if you keep training the training load without knowing the recovery? You're not going to get it, but instead you're going to get injury, illness, and poor performance. If you're keeping training without recovery, you look into today's, even the MMA people, they look into the heart rate recovery. The Russians, sport people doing this, and the entire world is doing this. Okay, so this is what I like to share with you today. Here on, if you want to say I practice something internal, well, you better verify it with your heart rate variability. You want to know is the sets of 修炼套 you practice, it is designed for the recovery like the ancient or not. You need to know the way how you practice is achieve the goal of recovery or parasympathetic predominance or not. Otherwise, we cannot just make claim, oh yeah, Wing Chun SLT is like yoga. Well, people study it. Well, people can show you scientific data. Okay? So let's drop all those labels and terms, Chinese label and terms and whatever story. for whoever it is serious in 修炼陶 practice and want to really develop internal or the parasympathetic nervous system dominant type of practice where help your body to recovery, you need that. Okay, the HRV measurement, and you need to know what, why, how, and verify it. So this is to share with you today.